Everyone talks about winning the morning. But what if your mornings don't look like a movie? No sunrise journaling. No perfect smoothie. Just you, half awake, scrolling, and already late. This video isn't about aesthetic routines. It's about psychological design. How to build a morning that actually fits your real life and still changes everything. The truth is, most people fail at morning routines not because they're lazy, but because they try to copy someone else's. Your brain, your schedule, your energy, they're unique. So instead of forcing yourself into a 5 a.m. template, let's rebuild your mornings based on psychology, how habits actually stick, how motivation really works, and how to start each day without the constant war between who you are and who you wish you were. Point 1. The myth of the perfect morning. Social media sells you the idea that your morning should look productive, calm, and cinematic. But that's not psychology, that's marketing. Your brain doesn't care about perfect, it cares about predictable. If your routine feels like pressure, your mind resists it. If it feels natural, your mind repeats it. So, stop chasing perfection. Start chasing consistency with comfort. Point 2. Understand your morning energy curve. Here's a secret psychologists use. Every person has a unique energy rhythm. Some people peak early. Others don't wake up mentally until noon. Your routine should match your rhythm, not fight it. Ask yourself, when do I feel clear-headed? When do I feel foggy? If your energy peaks late, don't journal at 6 a.m. just because a podcast told you to. Maybe your version of a powerful morning is simply not checking your phone until 9. That's still discipline. It's just designed for you. Point 3. Use the minimal resistance rule. Every habit in your morning should feel 20% easier than you think it should. That's called the minimal resistance rule. Why? Because your brain hates friction. If your routine requires too much willpower, you'll break it by day 3. So instead of saying, I'll meditate for 20 minutes, say, I'll breathe deeply for 1. Instead of, I'll run 3 miles, say, I'll put on my shoes and step outside. The smaller the resistance, the faster you build momentum. Point 4. Anchor your routine to identity. Your brain doesn't follow goals, it follows identities. You don't try to be disciplined. You see yourself as the kind of person who shows up even when it's hard. So, build identity triggers into your morning. When you brush your teeth, say to yourself, I'm the type of person who takes care of things early. When you make your bed, think, this is what organized people do, and that's who I am now. You're not faking it. You're reprogramming belief through repetition. Point 5. The first win effect. Neuroscience shows that small early wins release dopamine, not from success itself, but from progress. That's why your first task in the morning should be something you can definitely win. Make your bed. Drink a glass of water. Write 1 line in your journal. Each win tells your brain, I'm in control. And that belief creates momentum that can last all day. Point 6. Create a reset ritual. Ever notice how one bad morning can ruin the entire day? Psychologically, that's called negative priming. But you can break it with what's called a reset ritual. Something tiny that signals, the day starts now. Maybe it's opening the window for light. Maybe it's turning on music. Maybe it's washing your face with cold water. The point is to interrupt the chaos and restart the pattern, a reset button for your brain. Point 7. Cut out cognitive junk food. The worst thing you can feed your mind in the morning is noise. Scrolling, news, random messages, they're dopamine spikes with 0 direction. Psychologically, that trains your brain to react instead of create. So, before your routine even begins, silence your notifications. Your morning isn't a time to consume. It's a time to condition your mind. You don't need silence. You need intentional input. Point 8. Use the cue action reward loop like a psychologist. Every lasting habit follows a 3-part loop. Cue, action, reward. For example, cue, alarm goes off. Action, you drink water. Reward, you feel alert. Don't skip the reward part. If you never feel good after your routine, your brain won't crave it. Reward yourself with music, a stretch, or just the satisfaction of ticking a box. Pleasure locks in discipline. Point 9. Don't add habits, stack them. Psychology calls this habit stacking. It means attaching a new habit to something you already do automatically. Example: after I brush my teeth, I'll visualize my day. After I make coffee, I'll write one goal. You're not building a brand new routine, you're piggybacking on existing ones. This is how habits quietly become systems. Point 10. Design for the person you are and the person you're becoming. Here's the balance most people miss. Your routine should fit today's life, but also lead toward your future self. If you're a parent, student, or working 2 jobs, your routine won't look like a CEO's, and that's okay. Psychology teaches sustainable change beats ideal change. Start with what's real, then let it evolve with you. The best morning routines aren't finished. They're alive. Point 11. Build an emotional flexibility. Some mornings, motivation disappears. That's not failure. That's human. So, create 2 versions of your routine. A full version for good days and a bare minimum version for bad ones. The key is to never skip twice. Even if your routine lasts 3 minutes, it keeps the neural pattern alive. Progress isn't about speed, it's about continuity. Point 12. The future gratitude technique. At the end of your routine, take 30 seconds. Close your eyes and thank your future self. The version of you that stayed consistent, built discipline, and turned chaos into clarity. This psychological trick builds what scientists call delayed reward sensitivity. It literally trains your brain to crave long-term results over short-term comfort. It's the mindset that separates transformation from temporary motivation. So maybe your morning doesn't start with a perfect sunrise or a green smoothie. Maybe it starts with noise, responsibility, and 5 alarms. That's real life. And that's exactly where transformation begins. You don't need to copy anyone else's routine. You just need to build one that fits the truth of your life and leads you toward the truth of who you're becoming. Because the goal isn't to have a morning that looks impressive. It's to have one that works. Your real life is already the perfect place to start. You just have to start on purpose.